Okay. Let's talk about Pokemon for a bit. So, the the title of this video, do I like Pokemon Legends ZA, is not meant to be like oh my goodness, I gotta know what this dude thinks of the video, so I click on it kind of thing. It's, as I've kind of tried to allude to in my CTT videos lately, it's a genuine, real question. I think, which is not a good sign, I think the answer is yes. But it is not an emphatic yes. I can't even say it's a confident yes. It's more of a higher register yes. So, I want to talk about it, especially because the DLC comes out tomorrow. And there is that part of my brain that's like, the DLC comes out tomorrow. Surely, I'm gonna get it. And strike while the iron is still hot. Keep playing Pokemon, maybe get some shinies, keep hunting alphas. I gotta get all these megas. I mean, the list was data mined a fat minute ago, but see all the new ones that are coming out and try to get alphas of those and all of that crap. And the other part of me is hey, you really want to spend $30 on this when you didn't even really like the base game that much? And also, I'm currently playing Stellar Blade, which I'm genuinely having a lot of fun with. And after spending so much time playing Pokemon, it almost feels weird having genuine fun playing a game. So I don't think I'm going to be getting that DLC right away. But before I really get into what it is about ZA that I don't care for, and along with the things that I do genuinely like, I think it's important to establish why I play Pokemon, or I guess what I love about Pokemon. Because why I play Pokemon is I've been doing it since I was 6. It is, sorry, I got a lot of, my lips are super dry. I should have brought some water. Anyways, it is a very nostalgic series. It is something that, it's kind of comfort food, where if I'm having a bad day, I can just throw on Pokemon and know I'm gonna have a good time. And if I'm having a good day, I can throw on Pokemon and I guess make the day a little better. It's just nice, you know? But the thing I love about playing Pokemon games, sorry, again, my lips. It's that sense of exploration. And it's not necessarily just that sense of discovery, although there's that too. I love finding new areas, going off the beaten path a little bit. I love seeing a new Pokemon or a new evolution. But it is the adventure. It's, here's a new area, let me go explore it. Let me go see what new Pokemon I'm going to find. Let me build a team. And for me, team building isn't okay, here's the list of Pokemon in the region, this is what I'm going to try to do. Or okay, I have an idea, it's I want Pokemon of this type and this type, or anything like that. It is just pure vibes. It is not necessarily the first 6 that I catch, I guess my starter and then 5 that I catch. It is just okay, I've caught you, you're in the party. Do I really feel it? Not quite. Sorry, you're going in the box. Okay, I already have 6, but I really like this other guy. I think I'm going to put you in. It's just, who am I going to bench? Or am I going to have a rotating party for a bit? It kind of depends from game to game. But I love that feeling, and I love that sense of exploration. And seeing a region and going to the different gyms. Like I said, exploring a bit off the beaten path to see what kind of cool stuff I can find. ZA doesn't have that. It almost kind of ish sort of does. But it doesn't. What it has is one giant city, that being Lumio City. And you don't go outside of it. you, well, again, almost kind of do, because there is one dungeon late in the game. But even then, you're still technically in the city when you're in the dungeon. And, like, there's some sewers you can go to, too. And, like, oh, okay, you can go to the sewers, and it'll lead to this other area. Or maybe if you, like, continue a side quest, maybe it does. I don't know. But just doing the main story and the post-game, you're stuck in Lumiose City. So I'm not like, okay, I can go explore a whole region. The city itself is very samey. Like, I know there's areas, like, there's a museum, and the museum's really cool. Like, I liked that. But we're like, okay, here's the Jean district. Here's the, like, the Vert district. They didn't stand out enough for me to be able to say, oh, okay, this is why the Jean district is really cool and needed to be its own thing. This is what makes the Vert district really unique. Like, they're all just, yes, like, here's a bunch of wild zones. I'll talk about those in a second. But, like, here's a bunch of Pokemon centers and some wild zones. Like, this district has a shopping center, but so does this one. And then here's the, like, 50 bajillion cafes that are everywhere. So, despite having this one city that they're like, I'm going to talk about Trails for a bit. Because Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, Trails into Reverie take place in one city, that being Crossbell. You do go a little bit outside of Crossbell. It's like, here's the city, here's one village over here, here's one village over here, like, here's the hospital over here, and, like, the roads that connect them. But you're basically in this one city, and then, like, almost like it's suburbs, in a sense. And the reason I bring up Crossbell is anytime I play a Trails game where I get to go back there, like, specifically Cold Steel 3 and Cold Steel 4, where, like, it's not the main setting, but it is a place you can hang out in for a bit, I still remember that city and how to navigate it from my time playing Zero and Azure. I remember, okay, so if I'm trying to get to this district in this area, this is the way I go. I remember some of the shortcuts that I discovered while playing Zero and Azure that are in the other versions of that city. I remember, it's like, okay, this is the SSS building. This part is, this is one district. And here's the cool stuff here. Here's the entertainment district. And then here's, like, the back alley in the entertainment district. And it's, like, all that stuff. I love that. I have my problems with the Crossbell games, but generally speaking, Crossbell the city is not one of them, because it was made to be memorable. It is something that grew on me as a location, rather than me thinking, man, after a giant trek across Liberal, or, like, going to all these places in Erebonia, I didn't mind this, because, like, it's claustrophobic in a way that works in the overall narrative, but the city itself doesn't feel claustrophobic. It really, truly feels alive. Lumiose feels like, here's a bunch of buildings. That's kind of it. And again, like, some of these buildings are cool. Like, I really liked the museum. But I never really felt like, okay, here is the personality of this district or of this district. It didn't leave that impression. And I didn't get to explore a region. So I think just conceptually, from that aspect, the game does not work. I said it kind of, sort of, almost gets that sense of exploration, and it takes a bit to get there, but there's a point where you essentially get a jump, because despite all the parkour aspects of the game, there's not, like, a true jump button. It's, if you jump off a roof, you can hold out your phone and, like, do a little hop, and I don't know, like, it's weird and silly, but once I got it, I felt like, okay, like, I can explore a bit more. I can, like, hop across the rooftops and such. Because you can find, like, cool rare Pokemon on there. Like, there's a Dratini that's up there. There's a Larvitar that's up there. There's, like, in the rain, I found, like, a rooftop that had Goomy up there. Like, there's one that had Eevee. I enjoyed that because for like the first time in the game, I really felt like I can explore a bit and I can go find and discover cool things. But it's not the same. At least for me, it's really not. And Wild Zones, again, are also almost kind of sort of that. It's like, okay, here's a spot where I can go, what Pokemon am I going to find? But for the most part, number one, by the time I get to a new Wild Zone, I know what most of the Pokemon are going to be there. Not from looking it up, just the game like kind of shows you these are the silhouettes. And it's if you've seen that Pokemon, the silhouette will show up. If you haven't seen it, it's a question mark. But a lot of the times, like, okay, I've already seen a handful of these, so it's not that sense of like, cool, what am I going to find? It's, oh, okay, so I know I'm going to find y'all. And also, they're generally small enough that you'll see everything there is to see pretty quick. So it's almost like you get a quick dopamine hit of exploration, but then it just peters out. And that's not really that fun. Like, that's not why I play Pokemon. I liked catching Pokemon. I liked finding new ones. I love that. But I don't like again, I said like with Crossbell is thematically very claustrophobic, but the city to me doesn't feel like that. And here, despite it being this really big city, because there's nothing to do and like there's stuff, and I'll talk about that in a second because I gotta be honest about like there's stuff to do, it still felt empty to me. But it interacted with my ADD in a way that made me want to keep playing. Because I'll be walking around and see like, okay, well, there's an item over there. Let me go grab it. Oh, well, there's another item over there. Let me go grab it. Oh, well, there's like a thing I can go up and maybe I'll find some cool Pokemon up there. Oh, well, there's these like Diancie rocks growing, which I gotta break those so I can like cash it, so I could get like a currency that I can cash in to get a Mega Evolution. So let me just break that real quick. Oh, look, another item. Oh, look, a piece of candy. Oh, a piece of candy. That's how it feels playing the game. And there's these like parkour areas that are fine, and you can get like a thing in like another kind of currency that genuinely I don't think I ever exchanged for anything. Like, I don't know how many colorful screws I have, but I don't know. I don't think I ever did anything with them. It was kind of fun collecting them because, again, like my ADD goes like, ooh, a thing, let me go do that. Well, I'm already in the middle of another thing. Well, I'm in the middle of another thing. And then when I open my map, I see a bunch of quests. And I'm not like, ooh, boy, quest stuff to do. I'm like, what is all this shit cluttering my map? I guess I gotta do these so I could get them off my map because it bothers me just seeing all that. And then I'll like go do a quest and it's so like nothing. A lot of them like, hey, status conditions are a thing. I really like those. Let's battle so I can teach you about an element of the game. Because it was something Clay had said to me before I started playing it. He was like, at first I thought like the side quests were kind of neat and kind of fun and there was some personality there. And the more I played them, the more I realized these are just tutorials. And I don't think he's wrong. There's some that maybe kind of aren't, but a lot of it's like, hey, my Scyther wants to learn cutting moves to cut hair, so can you show him a move? Whoa, that's really cool. By the way, now I'm opening up a frou-frou salon, or frou-frou, how do you pronounce it? The poodle salon, so that's now a thing in the game, glad you know. Or, hey, let's do a weird quest with my Sylveon, which is like kind of fun, but sort of annoying at the same time. And by the end of it, it's basically a tutorial as to, okay, so this is what you need to do if you want your Eevee to evolve into a Sylveon. Like, cool, I already know that. I actually already basically know all of this stuff because I play Pokemon, and I have been for 20 years plus. And most of the stuff, it's either like, here's something you already know and care about, but I already know it, so this feels condescending. Or it's like the Furfrou salon. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just mad that this was cluttering my map. So I had trouble putting the game down because of how it interacted with my ADD, but that doesn't make the game fun. And the main thing about exploration didn't really have that. But that sense of discovery, it kind of sort of did, but it genuinely did in the form of new megas, which I knew about because I went into leaks. That is not the game's fault. And I like a lot of these megas, I really do. But that's it. There's, I don't know, 10 of them off the dome? Okay, I actually have to think about this. There's probably got to be more than 10. It's probably closer to 15, 20-ish. So, okay. Like Canary, her grandpa. I'm going to kind of name the trainers. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but for now, I'll try to keep it relatively spoiler-free. But it's like Canary, her grandpa, Ivor, Gwen, Felipe, Corbu, LeBlanc, Jacinth. That's 8. Feels like kind of a spoilery one. Definitely a spoilery one. So that's what, 11? And then there's the rogue mega fights. So you. That guy's got one. So I think I'm at 15 now. I think I've counted about 8. I forgot about that guy. So 19? That feels about right. And that's like a good, that is like a good handful. I guess what I'm saying is there are, for about you, so I think maybe it is about 20, on the dot. That's not terrible. But if I was playing a Pokemon game and there's only 20 new Pokemon in the decks, that sucks. Oh, I didn't even think about the start. Well, okay, and I kind of forgot about that. Okay, so there's more than 20. I'll say that. Maybe closer to 30. Definitely more than 10. And on the one hand, it's like, yeah, for a bunch of new megas, that's a good amount. I like that. That's also it. There's no new Pokemon at all. No new evolutions. No new, regional forms. 30 for your new decks. That sucks. The ones we get, I do like. Even some of the more goofy ones. But I'm like, that's it. I mean, original Kalos even then only had 60 new ones. And it felt lacking. And I look at Arceus, I'm like, okay, Arceus didn't have a whole lot of new ones either. But the reason Arceus doesn't bother me is because that game is nothing but adventure and exploration. And just, here you go. Here is an area. There's Pokemon everywhere. Go find them. And this game is, here's your one area. And every now and then, hey, you got far enough in the game. Here's a little, small pocket with some Pokemon. Here's a pocket with some monsters. And then here's a rooftop that, I don't know, you'll find, Pidgey and some monkeys up there. Go have fun, I guess. It's not the same, and it doesn't, even though there is cool stuff, again, it almost feels like more of, here's a dopamine hit, so you'll keep playing, rather than, yo, I'm so glad, like, I'm getting what I wanted, you know? But the mega fights are cool. Like, genuinely, like, because one thing this game did is it really codified to me what it means to be a Legends game. It means there's going to be Pokemon. You're going to have like an open world or like an open area. You are not going to have to directly battle a Pokemon to catch it. You can just see them, throw a ball, and snipe them. The game will have its own unique battle system, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit. And there will be boss fights where you are fighting like a large souped up Pokemon. In Arceus, it was the Wardens, which was essentially like, here's an alternate form, and now it's like kind of rampaging. Here it was, there's a mega Pokemon that's rampaging, and like it's also like a lot bigger, go fight it. Apparently the next one is supposed to be Galar, so Dynamax fights. That sounds really cool. Like, that sounds fun. I want to do that. And also it's like, here's like your kind of weird eclectic combination of starters, which I would assume for Legends Galar, it's probably going to be Snivy, Litleo, and Popplio, because that's like, okay, that's all three from Johto, all three from Alola, and all three from Unova. I mean, Unova's before Alola, but I thought of that name first. So that's kind of what I'm assuming. And that your starters are going to have like the gimmick of the area. In Hisui, it was alternate, like regional variants. Here, it's megas. Spoiler that these three have megas, so I assume G-Max Incineroar is going to be a thing in Legends Galar. That's kind of what it means to be a Legends game. And again, like, I like the boss fights because some of the megas have like real, I mean, what they try to do, it's not just like, okay, here's a big Pokemon. It's, here's the thing about this fight that sets it apart. Like Banette. It uses double team, which means there's actually like clone Banettes that you have to deal with and find the real one. And that's really cool. Or you've got Dragonite. That's a new one. I don't feel bad spoiling it because it was in the trailers. Where once you do enough damage to it, it starts charging a Hyper Beam. If you do enough damage to disrupt it, it will still like go out of the arena and fire Hyper Beam. But it's like a small beam that you can dodge. You're like, okay, just don't get hit by it. If you don't disrupt it, it fires it like nukes the arena and you can't dodge it. And it's like, yeah, it'll do a lot of damage to your Pokemon. It'll do a lot of damage to you. Or when you're fighting Tyranitar, where after a certain point, it just cloaks itself in a sandstorm. So unless you're like an earth type, which, you know, to me, that's like the collective for like ground, steel, and rock. Unless you're an earth type, you're just going to take damage if you're physically attacking. I'm like, cool. I didn't really team build for that, so, sorry for alligators, gonna be taking damage too. Nothing we can do about that. And like, I don't know, I think that's fun. I think that's cool. And like, they're basically all like that. I liked this aspect. But getting into that other aspect of the game that's really important and part of what it means to be a Legends game, it has its own unique version of combat. Arceus did the agile style, strong style, but also had like a turn order, like a Trails game, which I thought was awesome. I really liked that, and I really liked manipulating the turn order. And just those moments of, I could go for a much stronger attack and risk losing a lot of turns, but if I kill it, not a problem. If I don't, I'm basically sacking a Pokemon, and I don't want to do that. Or maybe it's not a bad idea to do that, but there's a lot of cool strategy in that. And this, I'm not going to say that there's not, like, strategy in it, but it's an action game with cooldowns. So it's like Xenoblade combat. I don't like Xenoblade. I don't like combat in Xenoblade 1. I like it in Xenoblade 2 because I learned ways to mitigate the gameplay, which is weird and not a good sign. Because in Xenoblade, and like in 2, it's like, okay, like here's your moves, but you have your auto attack, and your auto attack is what charges up your move. So it's not like you gotta wait for a bit. You essentially have to like build it up. And it's move, and then move, and then you're stronger, move. And it like takes that long for a hit. It's like slower than that. But what a friend taught me is he's like, okay, that's not what you do. Every time you attack, just like flick the stick so your character moves slightly, because that resets their combo, because your first hit is your fastest. So essentially you're going boom, 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 and it's way faster and like way more engaging. I'm like, okay, I have to mitigate the game to make it more fun. But that's not a thing here. You can't, there's nothing that I can do to make a move charge faster. It's like, okay, cool, did I do the move? Great, now I gotta wait for it. I have 3 others, but maybe that's the one that's like really effective. Anyway, sorry, just, why do I not like it? Number 1, sorry, I'm just like thinking about my experience playing this fucking game. Number 1, special attacks suck. Because if you are using a special attacker and you're like using even like Bubble Beam, which is not like a crazy thing compared to Hydro Pump, it's like, okay, because it's a special move, it's going to take longer to come out, especially like the stronger it gets. And because it's a special move, it's gonna take longer to charge. I'm like, well, sorry, Alpha Star, because, okay, so I guess let me actually say what my team was real quick. For most, like, the vast majority of the game. For Alligator, Scolipede, Raichu, Victory Bell, Starmie, Gyarados. All but my starter and the Raichu were alphas. Because, like, I really liked catching alphas that could Mega Evolve. Like, yeah, this is sick as hell. I thought that was really fun. And then by the time I found an Alpha Pikachu, which I think, was like Wild Zone 5, it was like, okay, I raised him from a Pichu, and I put a lot of effort into this. Like, I'm not gonna bench him. It was honestly kind of a sunk cost. Raichu felt like he fell off pretty dang quick, which I had a Raichu in Arceus, and he was doing work the entire game. But, Starmie felt really good early on because of, like, I had an Alpha Starmie, he's pretty dang strong. Fell off so fast because special attacks suck. There were times, and this is something that was both really funny but so frustrating, is, like, my Scolipede was so large, he would miss attacks. Be like right in front of an enemy, like, all right, use Pin Missile, because he didn't have like X's or U-turn yet, and then just, okay, I'm gonna fire them, and they're just gonna go over the head of what I'm attacking. Why? There were also times I'm like, okay, Pokemon, whoever it would be, like, go attack this. And then they'd get, like, stuck on a corner. So it's like, if this is where if this is where the enemy is, my Pokemon would be, like, right here, just running up against a wall, not doing anything. It happened a lot. Or I'm like, oh, okay, like, during the Royale, like, let me go in here and attack this dude. All right, Gyarados. And Gyarados, you can't fit through the door. So you just can't attack. Why is it like this? And it's like consistent. And I never really figured it out. Okay, let me rephrase. One of the problems in the game is to attack a Pokemon, you have to like hold, what is it, like Z, L, Z, R? You have to like hold a button, which then you're locking on, and like, okay, now I can say like X, Y, A, or B, like whatever, like your attacks are mapped, go do an attack. And sometimes I can issue a command, my Pokemon will go over there and attack, and then I can input another command, and it'll just do the next attack right up there. Other times, I will do that, and instead, my Pokemon's like, I'm going to go all the way back to you, and then do it. And sometimes, I could move and issue commands. And other times, it like wouldn't let me do that because as I'm moving and holding the same button, I'm no longer locked onto the Pokemon that I can clearly see on my screen and I like have not broken contact with at all. And again, like sometimes I'm moving and my Pokemon will stay put, do commands. Other times I'm moving and it'll do a command and then run all the way back to me. I'm like, no, don't fucking do that. And it never felt consistent in how it worked because it would work in every way at the same time. Which made it really frustrating when a Pokemon would not do the thing I wanted it to do and would get stuck in a corner or run all the way back to me when I didn't want it to do that. I don't like this combat system, like at all. And the Royale is just like, we're just gonna do that, but there's like dudes everywhere. So you gotta get close enough to lock onto them, then issue the command, then have your Pokemon go all the way over there, then have the move come out. And if it's a special attack, this is gonna take 9 business days. And then the fight will start. Or at any time during this sequence, they can just turn around and go, oh, I see you, so now you lose your advantage. Which, in terms of like the quality of the battle itself, is not needed. But to level up in this Royale, you have to like get to like certain thresholds of points, and a very common way to get points is like, okay, like if you sneak up against X amount of people, you'll get X amount of points. So I'm like, well, I was trying to sneak up and I had it perfect. It's just, it took for fucking ever because of the way this game works. And I don't like the way this game works. Let me say something positive. I genuinely like the characters. Like your team in MZ. So I played a male character, so I had Tawny. I think Tawny is fine. Like, there's moments where I'm like, okay, this is like a genuinely fun character, and times where she's really annoying. And I think it's mostly just the start of the game where I'm like, okay, I do want to try to explore this sandbox I have. And it's like, hey, but what if you do this thing that I really want you to do? Because it's an early Pokemon game, they're just going to hold your hand the whole way. It's a modern early Pokemon game. It's early in a modern game. That's what I'm trying to say. And like, yeah, this is getting old fast, but once it opens up a bit more, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you can genuinely, like, be fun. And then Naveen and Lita, I think, are both very funny. The, like, kind of mini arcs you have to do before challenging your next rank at a certain point, those are pretty fun. I think there's a lot of personality with these people. They're like, yeah, this is really fun. This is neat. Enough to like justify the price of admission? No. But like, I'm glad it's here. As for who's my favorite, like, I really love Corbu. I really like this guy. But just see, I'm probably not even pronouncing her name right. Like, she's so funny. He's just so, to be fair though, there's also this like bit with Ivor where he talks about how he catches Pokemon. Like, he basically just throws the ball so hard that it beans them in the head and knocks them out. And like that, oh my gosh, that is so funny. Like, I really like the cast in this game. What else do I really have to, like, say? The final fight with Zygarde. Again, like, don't feel like I'm spoiling anything anything with that. Like, it's cool, it's fun, it's basically a mega fight, but instead you're going through Zygarde's phases. I don't think it's as, like, cool or crazy as the fight with Arceus, but it's still genuinely cool, and I liked it. See, I did actually write some notes, I just haven't needed to look at them yet, so let me just check. Blah, 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 blah. You have one thing to say. It's very spoilery, but I'll get to it here in a bit. Battle system. Okay, yeah, I mean, that is basically all I have to say about it. So, just to go into spoilers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, spoilers are live. Let me highlight some of the other, like, the new megas that I do really like. Mega Frostlass, number one, I just like how long she is. But also, I thought her fight was really cool. I mentioned the Dragonite fight and the Hyper Beam. I thought that was dope as hell. Like, Scolipede was in my party, and I liked it. Starmie is just goofy, and I hated it until I saw it in-game in all its glory, and I saw it just start moving. That won me over so fast. I will not fight anyone who says they don't like Mega Starmie. I'm like, no, it's stupid, but it's like my kind of stupid. I really like Mega Victory Bell. Number one, absolute peak silly, but number two, along with Gyarados, basically the MVP of my team. Like, and not to say, like, Starmie has, like, the special attacks don't work. Raichu just never felt that strong. Feraligatr was doing work. Like, I don't want to disrespect my starter at all. And Scolipede at times was, like, really good, and at other times is like, dude, I literally can't hit them. I'm sorry. They're right in front of me. I can't hit them. Gyarados just consistently, like, demolished things, and, like, Victory Bell did the same. I love those two. I don't know if there's obviously, I was really happy to see, really happy to see Skarm get a Mega, because I'm a big Skarmory fan. Mega Chandelure is really cool. I like it. Mega Phalanx just makes me laugh. Just this Voltron, and then one of them has to be the crotch piece. Like, I'm so sorry. And it looks so miserable, too. That stuff I do like a lot of these, and some of these trainer fights were fun. Oh, I also love Clefable, because Clefable to me just looks like a Kirby enemy. Like, not a specific, I mean, it almost kind of reminds me of 0-2. But, like, I see the wing, like, it's like kind of the body shape, the wings, and, like, the hat reminds me of the Halo. But just the whole vibe of it, like, I could see this in a Kirby game. The same way I love Hatena, because Hatena is, like, this is just a Kirby enemy. If I saw this walking around in, like, Star Allies, I would not have been shocked at all. But the other thing I want to bring up, like, I think the story is, like, fine. I think there's some parts that are kind of neat and kind of interesting. I really like, it's going to sound bad out of context, but I really like AZ dying at the end of the game. Because just those, like, few moments of, like, the scene with the cast at his grave. Like, I kind of felt that. Or when, like, Sander is talking about him, because he's back in the game, and he's like, yeah, like, I lost my memories. And as there's kind of starting to come back, I'm realizing how terrible of a person I was, and I want to make up for that. I'm also immortal now, and I can already tell how much that's going to suck. And he's like, yeah, like, I got to know AZ and, like, really talked with him about what it's like to be unable to die. And it was something I found really compelling. But after you finish everything, you do, like, the Eternal Flower, Floed, and Mega Zygarde thing. Sorry, I just remembered Mega Zygarde. So apparently, its signature move, which Zygarde already has, like, 4. But Mega Zygarde's signature move is, I think it's a 200 base power special attack, and its special attack stat is stupid. That just says, are you a fairy type? I don't care. The same way Thousand Arrows says, Are you a flying type or have levitate or something that ignores ground moves? I don't care. And I kind of love that as Zygarde is just like, look, dude, I'm such a cool Pokemon. I don't care about your immunity. I'm hitting you. There's just something funny to me about that. But after you do all of this and you reach rank A, then the big company, which also I have to say is kind of refreshing that it's not a front for an evil organization. Like, no, we're genuinely trying to do the things that we say we're doing. It's just, there's a lot of crap happening. I found that kind of fun. We're like, okay, congratulations. You hit rank A, you get your wish. Now, this is not like a fate wish where you can wish on the grail and it'll give you whatever you want, but genie rules will apply and it'll try to mess with you in some way. It's like, look, like something that's genuinely within our power, but we'll fulfill it to the best of our power. And the game gave me 3 options, which was, I just want to keep battling with everyone, or I want us all to live in harmony with Pokemon, or I want you to add more Pokemon. I was like, So, I can't just say, like, hey, could you just give me, like, a bunch of money? Like, can I just have money because Mega Stones are expensive? Or say, hey, can I get a discount on, like, buying Mega Stones anywhere? Like, whether it's at your store with these, like, Diancie bits, or at the Stone store, or anything like that. Is not an option? Okay. Sure, I'm gonna ask for more Pokemon. Oh, we can't do that. There's already too many Pokemon. Okay, so why was it an option? Okay, let me just say I want to live in harmony with Pokemon, because, I mean, that's kind of what the theme of the game is anyways. They're like, well, I mean, yeah, that is the theme of the game, so why are you even gonna waste your wish on that? We're working on it. Why don't you tell us what you really want that we can grant? Oh, no. You want me to just... You're railroading me to saying I want to keep the ZA Royale going? I don't even like it! But that's what you gotta do. That's my wish that I've been working toward the entire game, is I just want to keep doing this thing in the game that I don't really like. And I really don't like, because it's the reason why when it goes from day to night or night to day, like, everything stops because a battle zone will activate or unactivate, which annoys the hell out of me, because there have been several times where I'm like fighting an alpha, want to catch this thing, have it really close, and then, yeah, you know, now it's the next day. The alpha's still there, just it's completely recharged. So have fun. Or sometimes like, well, this is a Pokemon that doesn't spawn in the day, so now he's gone. But hey, you can go do the Royale whenever you want. Isn't that fun? No. No, it's not. I had some fun playing ZA. Enough to say I liked it. I don't even feel like... That doesn't even feel right to say now. Like, after, like, really sitting and just, like, let me just talk about it and get all that out there. I don't think I really liked this game. I like catching Pokemon, so I like that aspect of it. But when I really look at what is ZA trying to do, like, almost like what is its mission statement in a sense, it's, we want a game about this city and the urban development or redevelopment, which really is just, yeah, every now and then they add a wild zone. Like, this element and this element, that being the Battle Royale and its cool, shiny new battle system. I'm like, okay, so both of these elements are terrible and just didn't work for me. So, yeah. I didn't really like it. But I kind of did, because I thought the cast was fun, and I thought the mega battles were fun, and I liked catching Pokemon. So I did like it in spite of itself. In spite of its best efforts, I liked it enough. But even as like a die-hard passionate Pokemon fan, it's not a game I would want to really replay. Like, I'll pick it up because I'm like, yo, I kind of want to have a dex that's, I don't want to say nothing but alphas, but I want to have an alpha of every Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. I have a pretty good amount of those too, by the way. And like, yeah, like Wild Zone 20 does a lot of heavy lifting with that, but there have been a lot of others that I've just kind of gotten, whether it's like fixed alphas or just like, oh, I kind of wanted to get, you know, I feel like I'm going to need a living dex because there's going to be a shiny mythical attached to this, and it's probably going to be like, well, here's how you get Genesect, or it's like, here's how you get a shiny Hoopa, then Hoopa's strong. Actually, Hoopa is probably going to be the DLC dex, so this base dex, I will probably be someone from Kalos, so maybe that's a shiny Diancie, or like Volcanion, I don't know. Maybe shiny Mewtwo. Anyways, here's, like, I need to get a living dex for this so I could get the reward. Let me go back to, like, the Lysander Labs so I can get another Beldum. Because I caught a Metang, but I need to catch a Beldum. I need to catch another when I get into a Metagross. Oh, hi, Alpha Beldum! Well, that's really cool. Like, there have been a lot of moments like that, and that's fun. That I enjoy. But the things that the game really wanted to hang its hat on are things I did not, like, actively disliked. So as much as I love Pokemon, this is not a game I would want to, like, replay. It's a game I would want to pick up and continue in small doses. But it's not a game I would recommend, unfortunately. And yeah, I say that about covers it.